Hi, my name is April. Let's talk about September favorites. Today I have a list of things that I really loved in September that I would like to share with you. The first of these things is food. Before I go on, I need to tell you a couple of things. Number one, I don't cook. Number two, when I was a kid, I had to eat healthy breakfast foods. And when I became an adult, I rebelled against that hard. Number three, I eat Pop-Tarts for breakfast every single day. So please don't judge me when I tell you that my favorite food this month are pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts. These are limited edition. They're only out for about 4 months in the year. I look forward to them every year. Do they taste like pumpkin pie? They do not. Do I love them anyway? I do. But I only eat them on weekends because they are a special treat. The second of my favorites would be television, but it's been a pretty bad TV year for me. I've been way too busy to watch television because I've been reading or running or just doing really anything else. But I have been listening to podcasts, so I'm going to sub in a favorite podcast instead of television. This month, I listened to a podcast musical with 3 episodes. It's called 36 Questions. It stars 2 people, Jonathan Groff and Jesse Shelton, as a husband and wife who've been married for several years. The title, 36 Questions, comes from a list of questions that they asked each other when they first began dating, and they kind of fell in love having answered these questions. But now, years later, the husband finds out that the wife's been lying to him ever since they met. She hasn't even given him her real name, and she certainly lied about those 36 questions. And so he wants to leave her, but she, maybe naively, wants to work on their marriage and thinks that by re-answering these 36 questions, this time, truthfully, they will fall in love or fall back in love and save their marriage. I will say that this is an imperfect production in terms of the storytelling and the characterization and even the songwriting. It's not a Broadway musical, let's put it that way. But it was still enjoyable. It was still engaging enough that I cried as I was listening to it because I maybe over-identified with some of it. The characterization seemed a little uneven because the husband, for me at least, was far more sympathetic and logical than the wife was. And the third act, which is the 3rd episode, seemed to have a drastic decline in its quality, both in storytelling and in the music. Overall, however, I did enjoy it, and as a concept, I think this is so exciting. I hope that a lot of other creators decide that they're going to do podcast musicals as well. The next category is movies. I didn't go to a movie this month, but I did go to a theatrical production, and my favorite one of the month is Shrek the Musical. The cast was so great, and part of what made this my favorite theatrical production that I went to this month is that the cast seemed like they were having so much fun. The music is forgettable, the story is the one we're familiar with from the movie, there's nothing really new here. But when you have a cast that is clearly enjoying themselves on stage and who feel so much affection for the characters that they're playing, you in the audience can't help but kind of fall in love with the production as well. And so that's why that was my favorite theatrical production of the month. I went to 3 overall, and that one was the best for those reasons. The next category is a favorite book, and I'm going to modify this one a little because I talk about books in my September wrap-up, which I'll post probably later this week. So I'm going to modify this to my favorite thing that I read, and it's actually something that I read with a class. Both of my Theater 1 classes are reading A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare right now. One of those classes was so into it that it increased my enjoyment of this play that I've read tons of times. On Friday, we did Act 5, and I had some of the students act out the little play within a play that the Rude Mechanicals do, and I had costumes for them, and they were so into it, and they were hilarious because they put so much emphasis and inflection and intonation in their reading, and the class enjoyed it. I loved it. They loved it so much that they asked if they could do it again, and so next week, one of their performance opportunities is going to be for them in groups to put on their own play within a play or version of that play within a play, complete with costumes and so on. So that is my favorite thing that I read this month, and it is absolutely 100% because of the people that I read it with. The next category is music. I only listen to music when I'm running, and even then sporadically. So until further notice, my favorite song is Nuck If You Buck by Crime Mob. It's perfect for running downtown because it makes me feel pretty badass, like, ooh, look at me, I'm out here running and I'm listening to this song about kicking your butt and so on and so forth. Is that a dumb reason? Well, who cares if it is? The next category is tech. My favorite tech of the month is something that doesn't exist, and that's a copy machine that doesn't break every 5 minutes. My favorite home good of the month is candle melts. I will put these on a little candle warmer in my classroom because I teach teenagers and sometimes it can get a little musty in there, so I need to be able to smell something other than BO. So I have candle melts that I keep near my desk. Come here. Good boy. And I got a couple from a company called Bubble and Geek that I found on Etsy. This one is called Nope 2020, named after Leslie Knope, and the scents are optimism, whipped cream, coffee, waffles, and more whipped cream. So that sounds very much like Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec. And then the one that I have at school right now is called Talking Teapot. It's clearly based on Beauty and the Beast. And that one is beautiful. It has white tea, Earl Grey tea, and warm ginger. And it smells so good. And that's Bubble and Geek, and I will link their shop down below. So those are my September favorites. My all-the-time favorite is this guy right here. His name is Walter. He likes interrupting his mom whenever she's doing her videos. If you have favorites, or if you're doing a favorites video, share it in the comments below because I want to watch it. Until then, goodbyes are always awkward, so end of video.